Are you growing an online business, but running low on energy, even though you have the time? You're feeling pumped to take the action. You may have the rest of the evening or all day to get things done, but you find yourself yawning before anything actually gets done. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you how to get an unlimited supply of energy, whether you've got 1 hour, 5 hours, or even all day to work on your business. But before I share with you how you can get this unlimited supply of energy, I first have to share with you why you're feeling tired before you even get started. So, there are 3 reasons why you're feeling tired before you even get started. And I'm going to harp a lot longer on that third reason because it is a biggie and the one that is keeping so many people stuck. But the first reason is that thinking naturally makes your brain tired. When you are growing a business and you're having to take action on a consistent basis, it requires a lot of focus, a lot of intentionality. And so your brain naturally wants to just conserve all of that energy. And so to do that, it's going to make you feel as though you are tired and as though you have no energy because you're doing things that you haven't done before. You're taking action that is outside of your comfort zone. And the moment things start to feel uncomfortable, your brain is going to pull back and your brain is going to say, oh, no, 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 we're not going to do that. We're not going to go there. And so it's going to pull you down. It's going to drain that energy so you can't produce because there's a level of mental exertion that needs to happen. Whether you're creating content, writing ideas, maybe you're sending out an email to your list, having a sales conversation inside of the DMs, or maybe even responding to comments on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, the TikToks. I don't even have a TikTok, but you are responding. You're putting out that mental focus. Your brain is just going to try to conserve, especially if you are working a full-time job and you're coming home and working on your business or you're taking care of the kids. It's like, no, you've already been doing all of this stuff all day. We're not going to do any thinking. And so to protect you from having to think to take the action, your brain looks to make you tired. So the second reason is you don't have a clear path to take inside of your business. You might have this general idea of what you want to do or how you want to do things, but it might not be broken down into any specific tangible day-to-day steps. So for you to know, okay, I'm going to come home and get this done, this done, this done, and this done. It might not be that clear. So when it's not clear what you have to get done, then your brain has to think twice as hard on, okay, I know the general scope of what I need to do, but I don't know the nuances or I don't know the fine-tuned details of how to get it done. And if your brain has to start thinking that hard, then it's just going to go back into conserving energy. So anything extra that your brain has to do, it doesn't want to do that. And so you're going to find yourself feeling tired before you even get started. Just the mere thought of having to exert that mental energy, your brain's going to go, I don't want to do that. So those are the first 2 reasons. The third reason, and this is the biggie, is that you are running your business on emotional hype. Yes, you are running your business on emotional hype. And the reason why this is a biggie is because I see this all the time. You read a book, you listen to a podcast, you watch a YouTube video. Make sure you still watch and subscribe to my channel. But you watch a YouTube video, maybe you even attend some kind of a seminar or conference, and you're feeling so motivated and you're so riled up. You're like, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to go home and I'm going to take all the action. Well, you're excited and motivated. That is an external stimulus that happened on the outside of you that created internal motivation on the inside of you, making you feel that you can go get it done. And so you do go take action because you have that mental bandwidth now. You have a level of focus. And even though you have to think, you've got the energy, the internal energy that you're excited to think. You want to think. It's overriding your brain, trying to keep you in conservation of energy. And so that kind of external stimulus needed to internally motivate you is fleeting. You've got to have something happen outside of you in order for you to feel that thing inside that you can go do it. And so emotions tend to burn out. They're fleeting. They go up and down and up and down. And what I always say is that emotions are not decision makers, they are indicators. And so oftentimes, what you're doing is you are making a decision on how to show up inside of your business or what kind of actions to take based off your emotions instead of just seeing them as indicators. Well, what does this emotion mean? Or what does this emotion mean? And then recognizing how it's holding you back or even maybe trying to propel you, depending on the kind of emotion it is. If you're feeling like an imposter, if you're feeling the fear or the doubt, well, that's the emotion that's going to hold you back. But if you're feeling motivated, that motivation is going to propel you. And so we just have to understand that they are indicators, but they're not to be used as decision makers inside of your business. And a lot of people are using emotions as indicators and they're emotionally running their business. That means that you got to wait to get this emotional high. You've got to get that dopamine hit from the book or the video or the something for you to go, ooh, I can go take that action. And so because that's fleeting, you got to wait for it. And that's going to make your business feel like you are on a roller coaster. So here's something that I learned. Let me tell you this quick story. I really love cooking. And when I learned that different oils burn at different temperatures, I thought to myself, oh, that's really interesting. So extra virgin olive oil can burn at low to medium heat. Without burning your food, it will tolerate low to medium heat. But avocado oil can actually tolerate very high amounts of heat. And so because it can tolerate high amounts of heat, it's not going to burn your food when you turn the heat up, when you turn that intensity up. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I want you to think of your emotions as extra virgin olive oil, meaning it could only tolerate low to medium heat. And because taking action in our business requires a level of focus and intentionality and intensity, if you're running it on emotions, you're going to burn out real quick. You're going to burn up your food. You're going to burn you up because you're the human behind the business, right? And so we start turning up that heat. It can't tolerate that. So now you're probably wondering, well, what is equivalent to avocado oil? What can tolerate high heat without burning? What can tolerate a level of intensity and focus? Where do I really get my energy from? Spiritual oil. Spiritual oil. Instead of emotional oil, spiritual oil. Spiritual oil is you operating in the image in which God made you. What I want you to understand is that God, as the creator, made you in his image, designed to win. And what I mean by that is he didn't just say you're going to win a little bit or you might win. You're going to win a lot. He designed you to win. But when you're running your business on emotions, that means you are operating in what you believe your emotions are telling you about you instead of what God is saying about you, that you are designed to win. So now you're probably thinking, well, what about all the challenges? What about all of the hardships? I'm not making the kind of money I want to make fast enough. I keep hearing no. People don't want to buy from me. People are ghosting me on social media. Just all of the hardships you can think of in business, you're probably saying, well, if God designed me to win, well, why am I getting all of this opposition? Why am I getting all of this hardship? Because you've got to go through these hardships, and I put air quotes on hardships because I don't want to minimize anyone's hardship. Everyone's got different levels of hardships. And honestly, a hardship is really just a perception because we can see it as hard or we can decide to see it as the thing that's going to build us up. We've got to build leadership, we've got to build character, and we have to build discipline. Not just to get the success, but to keep the success that God gives us when it happens. And so it's really just like building a muscle in the gym. You're not going to lift 5 pounds forever. You're going to lift 10 and then 15 and then 20. And then depending on what body part, your legs can tolerate lifting more than your upper body. So you're going to gradually increase the weight. You're going to gradually increase the quote unquote hardship, if you will. But all that's doing is it's just applying some pressure and resistance so that your muscles can grow, so that you can grow spiritually. And as you grow spiritually, that's how you're going to stabilize yourself emotionally. Your emotions are not going to go up and down or get the best of you because you're going to be able to balance it with what God says about you spiritually. And so this is really important because what I'm finding is that there's just so much information online that gets you hyped up, that gets you in the zone, but then it dies. And if you don't know how to create it internally without something needing to happen outside of you, this business is going to feel more of a roller coaster than it has to be. It's going to feel like this instead of maybe like this. And I'm not saying that things don't get hard. They do get hard. But what I am saying is that with spiritual oil, spiritual energy, if you will, you're going to be able to go through the hard because you're going to understand that it's building you up. You're going to understand that you are cooking in God's oil. And that is the unlimited supply. And the moment I started to understand this and make this shift, it started to change my business in a way that I didn't know it even needed changing. It will make you take the exact same action, but what you're doing starts to feel easier because there's less force, there's less effort, because I'm not trying to force myself or hustle my way through it. You all see on my wall, it says hustle is crossed off. It's about aligning. You're aligning with how God sees you. And when you can align with how God sees you, there's some comfort in that. There's a lot of comfort in that. There's a lot of strength and confidence that comes with that. That makes you feel powerful because he gave us the power to get wealth. And so if you're operating from your emotions, you're always going to feel like you're almost there, but never going to get there. It's going to feel like you're operating in a gap all the time because you're going to be looking for the next thing to fill that emotional space. And this is why people start hopping around, looking for different coaches, buying different programs, but never taking action because just that mere investment alone can make you feel like you're doing something, can make you feel like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. But you didn't do anything. You made an investment, but you didn't take action because it was the emotion that carried you. So this isn't just about developing a spiritual essence and deepening your relationship with God so you can get success. It's the ultimate code for just how we live our lives. As a byproduct, our business gets to grow. We are in service to other people. We are pleasing him and serving people with the power that he gave us. And as a byproduct, that's how the money starts to come. And so one of the things I always remember is Genesis 1:27. So God created man in his own image. And there's no creator that creates anything for it to fail. So if you can keep in mind that he has designed you to win, designed you with a purpose, and is giving you your specific hardships for you to shift your perspective on them as building the spiritual muscle, building the trust relationship with him, that this is what you need in order to build up your leadership, your character, your discipline. Because I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, I'm not good enough yet. I don't know enough yet. I've got fears. I've got doubts. Those are the things you're saying to yourself. But these hardships that are coming at you, these challenges or obstacles, whatever you might call them, that are coming at you, they are here to show you that you are capable. They're here to build you up so you operate more in that God-like image. And so this is so essential for you all to really get, because what you're going to start to notice is that you don't got to do more inside of your business, because the strategies you're already using, they're going to work for you even better. They're going to be more potent. Everything you do is just going to be exponential. You might create one video, one piece of content, do one thing, and one thing starts to take off way more than 10 things you might put online. Because you see yourself the way God sees you. And when you show up with that kind of identity and that kind of beingness, now you're attracting the audience to you and you're building that trust, and they are now ready to buy from you, whatever it is you're selling. And so spiritual energy, this spiritual oil, if you will, activates you internally, and nothing else can do that to that degree. When we really think about this, what keeps our heart beating when we sleep? I think about this all the time. I'm like, I'm sleeping. I don't know where I go at nighttime. Where do I go? What keeps my heart beating? What keeps me breathing? I think about the sun doesn't just fall out the sky. The moon doesn't just fall out the sky. What holds it up there? Who creates the rainbows after the rain? It's the coolest thing when you start to see how God is working in everything, not just outside of you in nature, but inside of you as well. And if you can keep that at the forefront of your mind, you'll have an unlimited supply of energy to run your business, whether you have an hour, 5 hours, or all day. So the next time you find yourself feeling low on energy, I want you to ask yourself, are you taking action or cooking up your business in emotional oil or spiritual oil? I trust that this video blesses you. Share this with somebody who you know could benefit, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.